Is long COVID a thing? So this question actually came up because so let me give you a little bit of my background. I went so all psychiatrists have to go to medical school. And during medical school, you learn all about virology, which is the study of viruses, and immunology, which is the study of your immune system and how all that stuff works. And so different viruses create different responses from your body. And so, like a lot of the cold viruses will infect your cells in your respiratory system. So, like the back of your throat and your lungs and your nasal passages, and they will irritate those cells, and the cells will make mucus to try to get stuff off of them. And so as a result, some cold viruses will give you a runny nose, right? Well, COVID is weird. Oh, and the other part is I trained as a pediatrician, so I've seen what different viruses can do to your body. And the first thing I always say whenever I'm talking about COVID is COVID doesn't care. Literally doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're black, white, doesn't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, doesn't care if you believe in it at all, because it's a virus. And viruses exist for one reason, which is replication. They love to replicate. And if they replicate and they destroy your cells in the process, they don't care. They're going to do it anyway, because they know that if they increase the amount of replication and you happen to make a whole bunch of copies, then you tend to spread it around. And if you die in the process, so be it. Okay. Yeah, I know it sounds harsh and weird because the virus doesn't care. It's harsh and weird. All right. So, so when I hear about long COVID, so COVID is weird. Number one, we haven't seen it before, which is why it caused such havoc and chaos the last 3 years. But the other problem is it's not just a respiratory thing, even though for the longest time, that's what we were kind of thinking of it as is, oh, well, you can't smell. You have no sense of smell. It looks like you have the flu. You have body aches. You get headaches. Some folks have a runny nose and congestion. It's like the flu, you'll get over it. And now what we're realizing that, oh my gosh, COVID is actually more of a cardiovascular disease. It is cardio meaning heart, vascular meaning your arteries and stuff. And so what happens is COVID gets into different places and creates all these blood clots. And so it makes your blood thick in all the wrong places, to the point where you have trouble breathing, or you have trouble keeping your memory and your thoughts intact, because your arteries feed your brain. And so when it gets in those little bitty cracks and crevices, it'll cut off the blood supply to different parts of your brain and stuff like that, which makes it tough to think and that sort of thing. So long COVID, I think it very much is a thing. Whether you're a vaccine person or not, I always tell folks, I respect your decision, because you're grown, you can do whatever you want to. I am a believer in vaccines, so I've already gotten my booster. And so if you have questions about all that stuff, if you're like, I'm sitting on the fence, or I don't believe in it, but I do want to talk to somebody about it, shoot me an email, because again, I do this stuff all the time, because at the end of the day, a psychiatrist is a doctor, and I want to keep you safe. So if you have any questions, you can send them over to me at hello@simplypsych.com. Y'all will start seeing more of the effects of these viruses, because the other thing is there are more and more people who are getting it repeatedly. Either they didn't get the vaccine, or they're just in areas that are high risk. And each time you get it, the risk of blood clotting and things just goes up and up and up and up. And so, yes, please be careful. Mitigate your risk, meaning try to get your risk as low as possible. So if you're like, I don't want to wear a mask, okay, do your best to be in well ventilated areas. Spend time away from people that if they have symptoms, if you know they're sick or coughing, that sort of thing, make sure to wash your hands, because that's just a good idea regardless, because people are nasty. So be careful. So long COVID is a thing. Please be safe. Yes, we're going to see more and more mental health ramifications of this stuff. And as I learn more about all this stuff, I, of course, will try to bring that to you.